All right, we ready for the jury? We ready for the jury? Yes, okay. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. All right, you can have a seat, Mr. Dembrowskit. Mr. Dembrowskit, I just want to remind you that you're still under oath at this time, okay? All right.
So I believe we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but you were, in addition to being Mr. Depp's brother, you were his, I believe you referred to it as his personal manager, is that right?
I have been referred as, yes.
Okay. And so you were responsible for, or had some responsibility for his business affairs, right?
I actually coordinated with other people, but I didn't have full responsibility.
Right, but in terms of the information that you would receive, you would receive information that was relevant to Mr. Depp's business affairs and personal affairs, right?
At times, yes.
And you care about Mr. Depp's well-being, right?
Yes.
He's your brother.
Yes.
You love him, right? It was important to you that you, in your role as both his brother and as his manager, be kept informed of his well-being, right?
Yes.
And if something was wrong, you'd want to know about that, right?
Yes.
Did you ever have reason to believe from anyone other than Amber that Mr. Depp had a problem with drugs or alcohol?
No.
Did you ever have reason to believe from someone other than Amber that Mr. Depp romanticized drug culture?
No.
Did you ever have reason to believe from anyone other than Amber that Mr. Depp didn't take accountability for his actions?
I didn't have reason to believe that, no.
Did you ever have reason to believe from anyone other than Amber that Mr. Depp lacked patience for getting his needs met?
I didn't have reason to believe that, no.
Did you ever have reason to believe from someone other than Amber that Mr. Depp could act like a child if he didn't get immediate satisfaction?
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
I'm asking if she had.
Overruled, I'll allow it. That's fine.
Let me ask that again, Ms. Dembrowskit. Did you ever have reason to believe from anyone other than Amber that Mr. Depp could act like a child if he didn't get immediate satisfaction?
Hearsay, Your Honor.
Overruled for this question. We'll see at the follow-up. Okay.
I'm sorry?
Did you ever have reason to believe from someone other than Amber that Mr. Depp could act like a child if he didn't get immediate satisfaction?
I never had reason to believe that.
Did you ever have reason to believe from someone other than Amber that Mr. Depp had fundamental issues with anger?
Your Honor, may we approach?
Okay.
Reason to believe from someone other than Amber that your brother had fundamental issues with anger?
I didn't have reason to believe.
And did you ever have reason to believe from someone other than Amber that your brother didn't grasp the responsibility that he had in his children's lives?
I did not have reason to believe.
Heather, can you pull up Exhibit 268, please? Ms. Dembrowskit, is this an email from Dr. David Kipper to you on August 18th, 2014?
Yes, it's got my name on there, yes, it's from him.
And this is an email that you would have received on or about that date, August 18th, 2014, to the best of your knowledge?
It was sent on that date, yes.
And it's about Dr. Kipper's treatment of your brother, correct?
I'm actually reading it.
Okay, take your time. Thank you. My question is just this, and I think we established this. This is an email that you received from Dr. Kipper, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Who was Dr. Kipper?
Dr. Kipper was the doctor that was helping my brother, helping my brother get help from the pain medication addiction that he had.
He was helping him with his drug addiction.
The pain medication.
Okay. And your brother was addicted to pain pills.
He had been taking them for a long time, yes.
Right. And you were instrumental in hiring Dr. Kipper to help your brother try to deal with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so Dr. Kipper, in his role as someone treating your brother, tried to keep you informed of what was going on with that treatment, right?
Yes.
And it was important to you as both his brother, his sister, and his manager that you be kept informed of that, right?
It was important as his sister.
And well, and his issues with drugs were having an impact on his career as well, too, right?
No.
And you knew that they were having an impact on his relationship with Amber, right?
Objection, lack of foundation.
She's given plenty of testimony about.
Overruled, I'll allow it.
You knew that the drugs were having an impact on his relationship with Amber, right?
I knew that Amber claimed certain things.
But you didn't believe that they were?
I didn't necessarily believe it, no.
Okay. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Isn't it true that on the bottom paragraph on page 1 that Dr. Kipper informed you that your brother was uncomfortable and pessimistic that he will ever be able to stop doing drugs?
Objection, no, what you're saying.
I'm not asking for this.
I'll allow this question, but it's the only question.
He does write this in this email, but this email is an update, I believe, if I'm looking at the dates, and I don't remember all dates, but I know that period and what's written in the email. I think this was during the time they were, where he was getting help from Dr. Kipper.
Right, but that's what he informed you of in your role as his manager and his sister about the status of Mr. Depp's belief that he would be able to stop doing drugs, right?
Objection, you're saying.
I'll allow that question.
I think he was informing me of the conversations, yes.
So what was so urgent about your brother's need to see a doctor that he was going to see Dr. Kipper the next morning when you texted this at 7:35 p.m.?
I don't know that it was urgent. I think I was happy that he was going to see the doctor.
And you were happy he was going to see the doctor because you thought he'd finally realized the problem that his drug addiction was having on himself and others, correct? That's why you were happy, right?
I was happy he was going to see the doctor because I was concerned about the pain medication he was on.
And you were concerned about what that pain medication did to your brother, right?
Yes.
You were concerned about the effect that that had on his life, right?
I was concerned about him.
And you were concerned about the effect that that drug addiction had on other relationships in his life as well, correct?
Your Honor, ask and answer.
I'm going through.
That's fine, I'll allow it.
Consistent statement.
It's-
You can answer.
I didn't see anything that was happening necessarily in life to be concerned about others, me. It was him I was concerned about.
So you didn't see, your testimony today is that you didn't see any effect that your brother's drug problem was having on anyone else other than him.
My concern was him. I wasn't focused on anything beyond that.
Right. You weren't concerned about the effect that it could be having on anyone else. Is that your testimony?
Again, my concern was him.
Okay, thank you.
During Mr. Rottenborn's examination yesterday and again this morning, he spent a lot of time talking to you about your brother's alleged drug and alcohol abuse. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You're not denying that Mr. Depp ever used alcohol or drugs, are you?
Objection, leading.
It's redirect, Your Honor.
That's still leading. I'll sustain as to leading if you want to rephrase your question.
You also testified several times in response to Mr. Rottenborn's questions that Ms. Heard tends to say things in a more dramatic manner. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes.
Why did you say that?
I've had my own interaction one-on-one with Ms. Heard, so I know a bit about her personality. She would present information to me that was not necessarily information that was supported by everybody else that was around. And I've spent a lot of years working with my brother. We have a close team. It's many years of trusted people helping, make sure that everything in life, it works out and goes smoothly. But all those people where I would have a daily contact, whether it's about scheduling or just how the day's going for all the years, those people never said the same thing.
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
I think it was responsive to the question.
Well, I'll sustain the last sentence.
Yeah,
Just
Your Honor,
the last sentence of it, that's all.
understood, Your
Okay.
Honor. I think
Strike as well.
it goes to state of mind rather than the truth.
I just did the last sentence. I'll sustain just the last sentence.
Thank you,
Strike
Your
the
Honor.
last sentence, okay?
And do you recall your testimony yesterday when you stated that after the phenomenal success of Pirates 1, one of the changes to Mr. Depp's, your brother's, personal life was that there were a lot more people around him after that? Do you recall
Yes.
that?
Yes.
When Johnny and Miss Heard became involved in a relationship several years later, were there still a lot of people around them, your brother, on a regular basis?
Yes.
Who were those people?
He had assistants, he had security, he had, property managers, people that helped at the house. He had quite a few people that were around all the time.
How often did you communicate with those people?
I communicated daily, not necessarily with each one of those people, but I communicated pretty much daily with people within the world, the circle.
Did any of those people ever raise the same concerns that Ms. Heard did?
Objection, hearsay.
All right.
Again, it goes to state of mind.
I'll sustain the objection as to hearsay. Next question.
What, if any, concerns were expressed about Johnny's behavior when using alcohol?
Objection, hearsay.
All right.
Again, it goes to state of mind.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
All right. Is this witness subject to recall?
I do not believe so, Your Honor.
She's subject to recall? No?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brusky, you're free to go, or you can stay in the courtroom. It's up to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dembrowskit.